got very similar types of champions. You've still got great wave clear from that Lulu. So, ecological discussion.
I think that's where fear comes into play a little bit. And not wanting to lose instead of wanting to win. What this does set up, though, is a 1v1 in the mid lane. Shiphtur is so strong in 1v1s, especially Lulu early on into the game. When you're doing these 4-man pushes, it is a complete skill matchup in that mid lane. Shiphtur comes out on top, backing
themselves across the lane. It's once again Zion Spartan getting that bomb. Scarra has been ganked. Flay pulls him backwards. Cocoon lands. That is one dead mid laner. Final hit goes to a spiderling of Nintendo.
They were trying to give it to
Nintendo is here along with Shiphtur. This is a 5-on-4 until the teleport comes up. That's a shockwave. Catches Nintendo and Daydreaming. The solar flare was impeccable from Kiwi Kid. The easy kill secured for Dignitas. Teleport blown by Zion Spartan, but the re-engage is a real possibility.
Very bold dive by Dignitas and an extended chase afterwards. Dig is too low and Coast ends up getting the drag. They're preparing very well for game one, but then don't know how to adapt mid-series.
Well, Crumbs get caught up. That's melted. Everything landed. The Cocoon into the ace in the hole. Now Kiwi Kid is in trouble. Can Daydreaming land any more CC? And a bit unfortunate for Crumbs. He was just stun locked there.
Yeah, and now a push down bottom where Coast can start. Teleport comes in to actually save the turn. Flash ult though, oh boy.
Solar Flare catches Nintendo, not the greatest. Now the Zenith Blade lands onto Daydreaming. There's no culling available as the exhaust is going to slow Cutie Pie in his tracks. A wild growth onto Daydreaming, and that's the turn. Kiwi Kid gives up the 4th kill of the game. Scarra has joined the party, but this is a 3v4.
Right moment, because it seemed like Coast was kind of dead to rights, which is why Dignitas was so freely going in, not necessarily landing clean spells, but Crumbs is back, level 6, trying to make something happen.
Let's see if he can. Lands on WizFusion's head. That's a flash forward. There's no tower to fall back to. Look at the stealth. Now WizFusion's the first victim. Daydreaming is taking everyone on Dig for a walk. The culling plus the tower. This is going to be a dead Chain Warden. Cutie Pie grabs the 3rd kill of the game. Now Cruiser's actually trading with Zion Spot, and there's no mana on Zion.
Zion trying to clear this wave because he knows a dive's coming.
Well, Solar Flare is up. It does connect. Zion Spartan gets caught by the Zenith Blade. Crumbs was tanking the tower for just a little bit. That was a Dragon's Rage kick, and Dignitas should get the kill. A leap forward from Crumbs. One last hit should do it. Doesn't get the skill shot. It's not over. Coast managed to secure a tower. Zion sidesteps a Sonic Wave. One more missile, and that was close. Wild Growth was so close. Shockwave onto Shiphtur. Now he's in trouble. Exhaust is out. Scarra uses a summoner spell. Wild Growth throws him up. Too little, too late. Double kill. You called it. Crumbs is back.
This one.
Dignitas are back in this game. They grab 2 more kills onto Crumbs' Kha'Zix, a player who arguably is a... We will find out shortly. Daydreaming below half hit points. Coast appear to be on the retreat. Look for the Solar Flare. Kiwi Kid locked in place. Kiwi Kid eats another death sentence. Solar Flare comes down, slows down Shiphtur, not the greatest. Nintendo forced to repel up in the air. The Shockwave pulls members of Coast together. First kill is onto Daydreaming, and now Dignitas chasing them down. Shiphtur gets away thanks to the movement speed increase, and a 90 caliber net over the wall puts WizFusion alive for a few seconds before a quick roundhouse to the head takes him out. Nintendo and Zion Spartan get away with their lives. 2 for 0, and most likely the Dragon.
This is now a big lead for Dignitas after that fight. It was rather clean, actually, even though the...
Didn't really hesitate to initiate. Teleport in the backline once again. Cruiser, can he find somebody? That means he lands right on top of Nintendo. And they just squash the spider under their boots, as you expect. Careful not to get caught by any of the crowd control. Zion Spartan was waiting in the wings, and truthfully, he didn't really make any...
down.
No way. Kiwi Kid just wants to eat a death sentence. Let's see if it connects. That's a great shockwave. Nintendo to Shiphtur pulled back into place. The death sentence comes down, but nobody from Dig is pushing into it. The death sentence does connect. It's onto Scarra. Zion dives in. That's 2 kills for Coast. Wild Growth keeps Zion alive as now Crumbs is somewhat overextended. Kiwi Kid still looking for something. Gets slowed by the Glitzalons. Cutie Pie pokes down the damage, but at the end of the day,
there's an overpowering AD carry on one side, an overpowering top laner on the other. Cruiser, though, has an overwhelming amount of people coming down at him.
Can he survive long enough for the support? Kiwi Kid's coming in from the river. Solar Flare lands onto Zion Spartan. Crumbs jumps into the team. Zion is going to dash back to the minions. He's pulling them into the team away from him. Sonic Wave connects. Cruiser lands the skill shot, and now the rest of Coast are scrambling.
These fights apart with his culling and then followed up with just nice dashes coming in. Dignitas is absolutely right to start this dragon, but Kiwi Kid's got to be careful.
Oh, Kiwi Kid's in so much trouble. Solar Flare is up. Can he connect? That's the question. Daydreaming and Zion Spartan this time. Pulled into the shockwave. Crumbs is looking to clean up. That's one. Cruiser gets the kill credit. Dignitas continue through the chase, but their HP bars are very, very low. Cruiser gives up the ghost. He's the first victim of Dignitas to fall. Ace in the hole comes out. Cutie Pie survives it.
Great fight there by Dignitas. Yes, there was follow by the rest of Dignitas when Kiwi Kid throws out the solar flares. He's throwing the max range. Sometimes he can't even follow his own up. The Zenith Blades have been nice though.
And Kiwi Kid eats another death sentence. Now Zion Spartan is the target. Wild Growth is up. He decides to re-engage. That is a great shockwave. Everyone from Coast gets pulled together. Nintendo, the only one that escapes. It won't last long. Zenith Blade a tiny bit early. Nintendo is going to move away. Gets the shield from Lulu. 2 quick kills. And Dignitas are on the inhibitor turret.
2-4-0 and a great shockwave by Scarra, who started the game getting first blood in the mid lane. He's came back strong. 9 assists from the 12 kills. Dignitas gets an inhibitor.
Then Crumbs gets out.
Oh, they get another one onto Scarra? Really?
Scarra is gone.
How many hooks is Daydreaming going to land to try and bring Coast back to life here? They have Scarra down, Crumbs was back to base, and Cruiser would have to TP in. They may just get this Baron, but there's going to be a lot of damage coming down from I'm a Cutie Pie, potentially.
This is going to be so difficult for Dignitas.
How fast can they do this, Baron?
This is a teleport from Cruiser. Baron still alive in the background, 2,500 hit points. Zion Spartan gets the wild growth. Kiwi Kid is in the middle of the entire team. He's zoning 4. Crumbs looking for an execute. That's a flash away from Kiwi Kid. Not the greatest of Randuin's omens is Dignitas. They've interrupted the Baron, number 1. Number 2, they haven't given up any more kills.
And something that is becoming more and more apparent is it's just difficult for Coast to do damage. Crumbs jumps on Zion.
Oh, Nintendo lands the cocoon. Here comes Cruiser. Cruiser looking for the Sonic Wave. That one went wide. Now Nintendo in a little bit of trouble. Dragon's Rage is available here for Cruiser. Let's see if he can get the Sonic Wave. He connects.
Bye.
That's going to be a dead spider. Just a matter of time. Cruiser will finish it out. Gets cocoon down now. Sonic Wave. That closes it. No assist for anyone else.
Takes this Baron uncontested. That Coast just can't kill Dignitas. You consider that Lulu is low damage to begin with. How would Coast engage if Dignitas dives onto this turret? They're trying to clear the wave. Kiwi Kid just goes!
He manages to catch Zion Spartan. Let's look for the solar flare. That is a great solar flare! Coast locked up under the tower. Tower secured now as Cutie Pie manages to melt that one. Kiwi Kid has lost his life. The Nintendo and Zion hanging out on the sidelines. They have been hurt. Inhibitor is slowly being poked down. There's still a lot of HP on the side of Dignitas. Zion Spartan jumps in. His attack has been slowed. He is just deleted. Cruiser gets a kill. Now Nintendo forced to run away. Crumbs jumps in there, doesn't manage to get the kill. Unfortunately, as Nintendo repels in the air. Scarra's in trouble. Glitzerlance takes him out, but the inhibitor went down. Ace in the hole comes out. 2 inhibitors. They lost a bunch of members.
Yes.
I think Dignitas will still be happy.
Would guarantee them their spot right there. Taking down Coast 2-1. Kiwi Kid gets hooked, but he's got a lot of tankiness.
He totally wanted that.
Down.
Nintendo just gets melted by that attack and dissonance from Scarra. Scarra looking to set himself up with a shockwave. Daydreaming lands a hook onto Kiwi Kid. Kiwi Kid gives up his life. The turret hasn't been touched, but there are super minions filtering to the Nexus turrets. It's only a matter of time for Dig get on the tower.
As long as Dignitas keeps their presence here, Coast won't be able to defend it forever. The next minion wave is coming up. Those super minions are pounding down. It's tough for Shiphtur to kill these. When the super minions are next to each other, everything is buffed up extremely far.
3 members of Coast are defending their turrets. Nintendo's been left to solo hold on to those objectives. Dignitas continue the siege. 4 members in this top lane, and those command attacks and dissonances from Death Sentence doesn't connect. Solar Flare comes down, it peels, forces Coast to split. Zion Spartan's on the front line. Randy's
a pretty good start for Coast.
Down. We'll see, look for the wild growth. That's a good wild growth. I believe that was onto Zion Spartan. He's lost out of the fight. The shockwave just destroys Coast HP bars. Nobody dies until that very moment. Nintendo is the only victim of the fight as Ace in the hole goes out. Wow! Scarra just gets obliterated by
a great team fighting team. We don't have time to watch this again because Dignitas is forcing once again.
Well, let's see what Kiwi Kid can do with his solar flare. Baron is up. There's not enough members of Coast nearby. Nintendo is miles away, and Coast caught napping with their pants around their ankles. Daydreaming does throw down the flare. It's not going to be enough. The rest of Dignitas are on him. That was a good wild growth that at least delayed the kill, but the resets are here. Crumbs jumps in, gets caught by a cocoon. 5 members of Dignitas running down 4 members of Coast. Inhibitors have to be the target.
2 exposed inhibitors, and they could do that because of the 1 kill they picked off at the end of that last fight, so they could just force the Baron very quickly. Now they can just force these two inhibitors very quickly, as Coast is dying for resources.
There are minions pushing through this middle lane. Let's see what Dignitas decide to do. The Cocoon catches out onto Scarra. There's no wild growth available. Kid slows and intended. We've got a fight on two fronts as Zion is going toe-to-toe with Crumbs. Decide to back away. Second inhibitor secured. Shockwave catches Nintendude. Nintendude is gone.
There's only one inhibitor turret and 3 people on Coast right now between Dignitas and the summer split of the LCS.
It looks like they're going to do it. We do see WizFusion doing the best he can. Shiphtur is onto Cutie-Pie. Cutie-Pie forced away. That's a flash from Shiphtur. He is still alive. He's running low on mana. Cruiser is fighting in the background on the Nexus turret. WizFusion may be able to get him down. They've traded 1 for 1. Dignitas still have a numbers advantage.
They do have Shiphtur down. There's just Fusion and Zion. He's pretty strong.
Oh, Zion's looking for a target. Can he get Cutie-Pie? That's the question. Zion's locked up. Zion's stunned. Zion's exhausted, and Zion is dead. Now we look over to WizFusion. He gets cold. That is another kill for Cutie-Pie. 6-0-7. Ladies and gentlemen, Dignitas have done it. 2-1. They secure 5th place and, more importantly, a spot in the summer split of the North American LCS.
It wasn't easy for them. You can tell Scarra did not have a good time in that game, but the relief was palpable on the face of Crumbs and devastation on the face of Nintendo.
Promotion tournament, placing 6th in the spring split of the LCS. They will get the choice of teams. They will get first draft on who their opponents will be, but another time in the promotion tournament for the team Coast.
2 LCS storybook they would have want written for them. Summer split of 2013, they actually finished 7th. They didn't even have a chance to participate in the playoffs. This time they did take it down to the wire.